What's up YouTube? Welcome to my channel guys. We are going to talk about the lamp creepypasta created by Trevor Harrison. So the lamp is one of the dangerous creatures, like where he came from. He came from another dimension world. Maybe he's doing a hunting practice or whatever it is. I don't know about it guys, seriously. So this lamp is body is really fleshy, and it also has blood veins guys, seriously guys, and its mouth is very big, and plus it has eyes in that, seriously. Same like the Big Charlie. Next episode I was a big Charlie. They are both actually different. So this one has one of the strength. The lamp has strength is unknown, and we don't know about how this creature came. Everything is unknown guys, the weakness and enemies, and plus it has the powerful thing, it can float in the air like objective, and plus it can also sense human emotion and the mumbling sound. Like the quiet place guys, seriously, not like a quiet place, like sense it attacks. And you must move your body. So before we're gonna start this channel, and please hit that subscribe button right now guys. I'm gonna give you 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thank you guys for subscribing to my channel guys. If you're new to my channel guys, please like and subscribe. Turn on notification guys. New bangers are coming about the topic about chill stuff coming up. So let's get started.
The cryptid known as the Lamb first began to garner notoriety in 1986 when the first reported sighting graced the headlines of a local paper in Kerry, Ireland. Locals in the rural community were reporting many strange and disturbing tales, all involving what could only be described as a skinned lamb, which appeared to be a harbinger of disaster. The sightings often happened in broad daylight, but also sometimes at night. The first woman to report her encounter of the lamb was reeling from a recent disaster. Nearly all of her livestock perished in a mysterious barn fire. She said the lamb was a warning, a bad omen. One excerpt from an interview with her was particularly disturbing. I was in the pasture, tending to my cow who had fallen lame. I was attempting to dress the wound on her leg when I felt its presence. The wind seemed to stop and all the grass was still. Even the cows and the sheep fell silent. I felt a darkness in the air, like it was suddenly hard to breathe. I turned my head to scan the hills, and that's when I saw it. It was nearly as large as a cow, but it wasn't a cow. It looked like a sheep. A mutilated sheep. I swear it had no skin, just muscle that pulsed with each step. It was moist, almost covered in a slime. I watched it walk across the hillside for what felt like an hour, but was probably only a minute or two. Its legs were awkwardly long, and it seemed pained by each step it took. It seemed more to stumble with each step, and even though it was so unsettling in appearance, I couldn't look away. It raised its head to the sky and let out a pained bleat before disappearing over the crest of the hill. I had goosebumps. My blood was cold. I felt I needed to vomit, and when I turned back to the cow I'd been nursing, I found it was no longer breathing. That night, her barn and nearly all her livestock burnt in a tragic fire. Several more sightings of the lamb were reported by local farmers, each sighting followed by massive livestock devastation, mutilation, and death. In one instance, an entire family was lost to yet another barn fire in a feeble attempt to stop the blaze. Local farmers were gripped with terror, fearing that they would be the next to see the lamb and lose their livelihoods as well. It wasn't until the spring of 1992 that the stories surrounding the lamb garnered the attention of TV personality and paranormal investigator Richard Langdon. In an attempt to produce a special episode of his show, Strange Encounters, Richard travelled to Kerry in an attempt to capture photographic evidence of the lamb and investigate the strange and unexplained events that followed its sightings. Richard interviewed more locals and those who swore they had encountered the skinned beast. Everyone seemed to agree. The lamb was a bringer of doom, and Richard's safest bet was to discontinue his investigation and return to the US, lest he sighted the beast and experience his own personal tragedy. In an almost ironic series of events on May 23, 1992, Richard and his crew were stopped in a parking lot of an abandoned strip mall, planning their shot list for that night's adventure. He had planned to venture into the hills in search of the lamb, but according to the members of his group, the lamb found him. The above image was the first photographic evidence of the lamb ever taken, and the last photo Richard ever took. According to reports, he was seated alone in his production van, editing his script for that evening, when he was heard screaming. When his producer reached his van, the driver's side door was open. There was a small smear of blood across the door's window, and Richard's Polaroid camera lay on the driver's seat, a single image protruding from it. When the producer removed it from the camera, the horrifying image of the lamb began to develop. With the internet becoming a more common commodity to homeowners in the mid-1990s, the photograph was eventually uploaded and quickly picked up a cult following of believers and those fascinated by both the mythos of the lamb and Richard's mysterious disappearance alike. The lamb seemed to disappear from existence after Richard's encounter, or so it appeared at least. On June 25, 1999, one of the most fascinating and disturbing photographs to grace the internet surfaced. A group of American tourists in Ireland captured what can only be explained as the evolution of the lamb from their bus window on an early digital camera. The lamb appeared to have grown to a horrendous size, photo analysis estimating a height of 150 feet. It lumbered slowly and painfully through the field as the panicked tourists attempted to snap photographs. It seemed like the lamb emitted some form of strange energy that either rendered their cameras useless or distorted the images. The second image above was the clearest image captured. All the tourists described a foreboding feeling before the sighting, like something awful was about to happen. During the sighting, several people raced each other to the bathroom, fighting the urge to vomit. The driver of the bus said that after the sighting, everyone fell eerily quiet for the remainder of the trip. That night, the field in which the lamb was sighted caught fire, and nearly 1,000 livestock lost their lives to the blaze. Some followers of the lamb mythos believe it has returned in response to growing abuse of the natural world. Others believe he is a symbol of evil incarnate, existing only to bring death and destruction to those unfortunate enough to encounter him. Whatever the case, the existence of the lamb is now well documented, and it is believed he still painfully wanders the hillsides of Ireland, waiting to bring pain and doom to any who seek him out.